Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Welcome to episode 40. That's why we had the 40-second countdown with the bomb for you video listeners, watchers.
Nice, very nice.
Little tweak there for our video audience. Again, welcome, episode 40. And this just kind of snuck up on us. I didn't know if 40 was one that you should do something special for, but I guess we got 10 till 50. We can start planning for that, but welcome 9 people
for us, Eric.
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome our 10 people in the room, 10 people and counting. As we bring people in, I will tell you, please visit our website, www.playitbyearpodcast.com. Register for updates on our show, our merchandise purchase. That is on hold right now. We just completed our first campaign of merchandise, and again, as we kind of mentioned, we stuck our big toe into the pool there, and we probably will tweak a few things with that, and we'll come back with that a bit later. So thanks for all that purchased merchandise in our first round. And those of you who are our initial purchasees, I guess they'd be purchasers, we're the purchasee.
Purchaser, yes.
Yeah, so if you're an initial purchaser, you will be forever people that we will hold in high regard, and you will be rewarded for your being first. Just keep that in mind. You won't know what that is just yet, but we do have that in mind, and we've been talking about that as well. So welcome to my cohorts, Mr. Griffin.
Hello. Hello.
And Mr. Liming. Did you say hello?
I did. Sorry, I accidentally hit the mute button on my mic. Let me try again.
When you're in the Zoom meeting, you have to unmute your mic before you talk.
It's habit.
And put pants on.
Yes, by all means, keep your pants on. All right, so we are in order on the screen for which we will do our topics. And again, if you have not been here before, we do talk about 3 topics. We all bring a topic to the table. We talk about those topics for 20 minutes. So again, we are in order on the screen for all you video watchers. And it starts out with Mr. Griffin. So without further ado, Mr. Griffin, take it away.
All right. So episode 40. And if you are a fan of the podcast, and if you have listened to many of the back catalog, you would know that we often talk about foods. In one way or another, even if the topic is not directly food related, it typically ends up there indirectly somehow. And why not? Everybody likes food. And so I have a list. It's my turn to do a list tonight, and I have a top 100 most popular American foods. And I thought we would just run down from 100 and march one down to number 1 over a few different episodes, probably not consecutive episodes, but... So tonight, starting off with number 100 on the top 100 our most popular American foods. New York style cheesecake. New York style cheesecake.
I am shocked that's actually all the way at number 100. I thought that would be way higher. Because like when people think of cheesecake, and that's usually like one of people's favorites, New York style cheesecake, people are real picky about it. So to have that be number 100 on the list, I am floored.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, let's see. This list is from tasteatlas.com, so obviously their opinions may differ from ours. But I will say this: New York style cheesecake is my least favorite style of cheesecake. So maybe.
Let me ask an ignorant question here, and I guess I just never really thought about it too much, but what makes a cheesecake New York style?
It's prepared by a surly person that will curse.
Typically has a bad attitude. I'm sorry, any of our New York listeners. I'm just joking.
I'm cooking here.
Yeah, it's the only thing I know, and I have no idea if this is a legit answer, but just from the eye check, New York style has a crust on the top as well, or like at least maybe not a crust, but there is an
exoskeleton.
An exoskeleton on the top. Yes, there's and it typically I don't think has cherries or anything on it. It's just a block of chisaki.
Oh, we have an answer. Celia thinks it's baked.
So are most of the people that eat it.
Yeah.
The set and the spike.
Typically, when I see a piece of New York style cheesecake, it's just there on the plate with no cherries, no. But that doesn't mean that you can't, obviously. But even the picture on this list, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is can't see it. It's just a naked piece of cheesecake with no fruit.
Nude cheesecake.
Nude with no fruit. It often has a drizzle, I think.
Oh, it says here, I could have read, I guess. It's different from other cheesecakes, mainly because of its heavy and dense texture that feels extremely smooth and rich. It was made, includes heavy cream, eggs, vanilla, cream cheese, and optionally sour cream, while the base usually consists of a sponge cake crust or graham cracker crust.
Becky Piskus chimes in also. It's the type of cream cheese / creme that they use.
So do they not use Philadelphia style cream cheese, or it would be Philadelphia cream cheese?
I think that probably would cause a fight in New York if you tried to use Philadelphia.
If you've watched an Eagles-Giants game, New York and Philadelphia, even in the cream cheese, doesn't work.
It says here, all right, I'm just going to go on down, number 99, which this shocks me, number 99, red velvet cake. Again, I would have thought that would have been higher. It says it's typically covered in a French-style butter roux icing, which that's what I've said before. But recently, cream cheese frosting and buttercream have both been used as a simpler and tasty alternative. But red velvet cake has to have traditional red velvet cake icing before it's really red velvet cake.
What is a butter roux?
I don't know.
R-U-E?
Well, R-O-U-X.
Marsupial butter.
R-O-U-X. Is that roux? I may be reading that word wrong.
I don't know. Mrs. Granger didn't teach us that word.
Yeah. But the, I just remember when my mom made it, again, the big vat on the stove of steaming icing being made.
Cauldron.
Number 98, Kansas City style barbecue. Now, I'm always confused the difference between Kansas City style, Memphis style, Carolina. Yeah,
Texas.
I'm always. Yeah. Does anyone know? I mean, obviously.
Korean.
Yeah.
There was a whole show on the History Channel about barbecues, and no, it was a part of a segment of how the states got their shapes. It was about all the different kinds of barbecue. Very interesting. So we're getting people chiming in this cheesecake thing or this red velvet thing. We need to. Roux is flour based, according to Christy Rocky.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Tanya, who I will say, Tanya, an outstanding cook. I don't care. Everything I've ever consumed that Tanya has cooked has been outstanding. So I take her word up on great authority on anything food related. Butter and flour makes a run for gravy.
So I assume that butter and flour. It seems like we've confirmed that roux is a butter and flour.
Yes.
Concoction. Very, very good. Much superior to cream cheese or I can't remember the other type of icing it said, but buttercream. But anyway,
tremendously unhealthy, whatever it might be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Also known as Kansas City barbecued pork ribs, flavorful slices of hot or cold beef brisket, or a pig salad. Pig salad of
Pig salad?
succulent pulled pork. So,
Succulent.
so can anything, if put in a mass on your plate, can it be referred to as a salad? I mean, if a glob of pulled pork can be considered pig salad.
If Lynchburg Clay High School can make bologna salad,
Ew.
you can make a salad out of anything.
Well, hang on a minute now. Go ahead, Eric.
You know my rules about salad. We don't need to tread over those lands again. You know my rules about salad. Proceed.
Well, I was just going to say, while I've never heard of just strictly bologna salad, I believe most good ham salads have bologna in them, or at least most. I don't know if it's necessary, but a lot of the ones I have eaten, I know have had bologna in them. It's just I don't know what it does to the mixture, but they mix in bologna with the ham.
It makes it pink, obviously.
Well, ham's pink too.
No meat in a salad is necessary.
Ham and
In my world.
I would argue that ham and bologna are the same, at least the same, in the same color family.
Not that day at that high school, it wasn't. It was neon pink.
It was Pepto-Bismol pink. So now wait before you go on. Kyle King chimes in with the foodie description of roux. Equal parts flour and fat, which is used as a base to many salsas, etc. Kyle, I did not know this about you.
He's the culinary expert.
He comes up with outstanding game rules for our podcast, and he is a foodie.
97. Now this could gag a maggot. Oh God. Bread's pudding. Oh man.
I love bread pudding. Finally,
Brady.
there's something I like that you don't.
Brady.
It's, Brady, how can you be so Spartan in your food choices, yet you like bread pudding?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna base this that A, my mother made it, and B, the finest, like seriously, the orgiastic feast of the senses, as it was called in Seinfeld. I had bread pudding at one of those chain pubs. I think it was called. Sorry, I think it's defunct now. It was called Fado's or something, and they had bread pudding, and all it was a fantastical cinnamon roll. Basically, it was a bit. It was like if you could think a cross between apple crisp and a cinnamon roll, like that texture, and it was flipping amazing.
But here's the thing though. That's not bread pudding. I mean, I could have a lump of I don't know what. I could have a lump of liver and call it filet mignon. It doesn't. I mean,
Well,
that doesn't mean I like liver. Let me read to you what bread pudding is. Bread pudding is a dish that consists of stale bread. Does that sound like a cinnamon roll to you? That is bathed in a combination of milk, sugar, eggs, nuts, and fruits. There's nothing cinnamon rolly about any of that. You got duped.
hey, they called it bread pudding, and I liked it.
Gosh.
Milk.
Dish being milked. You cut off your cinnamon rolls.
More people would eat sushi if you just called it bonbons. I mean, it's you can,
That is an outstanding point.
Well taken.
I will say this though. I know a lot of people like bread pudding. I think I told the story on another episode. As a Ute, I got sick one night. I had a violent night of barfing, and the last thing I had eaten before bed was bread pudding. So you know how that goes. It wasn't the bread pudding, I'm sure, but in my head, it was the bread pudding. I could taste those raisins like moving in my throat, like in my system. Just bugs trying to
He went down
climb
like
their way.
Conor McGregor on a left hook. The bread pudding took him out in round 3.
Your bread pudding is my Big Mac.
Yes, exactly. And my chicken Kiev. I have two.
My gosh, that sounds like a country music title.
Your bread pudding
is my Big
Mac. Damn near gave me a heart attack.
Landed me flat on my back.
Some say, boy, you ain't got no sack. Let's see. Sorry. Sorry. Let's get back to the list. 96. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's high for a peanut butter for a PB&J Sammy.
You think it's high?
I mean low. I should say high on the. I think it should be higher. I looked at it the wrong way. Yes, I think
okay.
it's low.
I got a great story about that. A piece of Americana. 8-year-old me and my family had gone to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, the park, the theme park. And my aunt and uncles was with us, and we had left the theme park, not wanting to pay theme park prices. We were starving. So we pulled into this place, the first place we found. I think it was called Grandma's, honestly. And we went in, it's like, well, let's take a look at the menu first.
Grandma's or Grandma's? Grandma's.
Grandma's.
Don't sing the rest of that.
Ode to Steve Martin there.
Yeah.
But we lasted 1 minute in the foyer of that restaurant because when we looked at the menu, and this is 1981, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. $5.95.
Man.
Was it a gourmet with Texas
Manners
toast? And
Well, first off, any place that has a foyer, I expect to pay $5.99 for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
that's what it did. Did they call it the foyer? That's why you paid $5.95.
If it were a foyer, that sandwich would have been $2.
Well, in Nashville, Tennessee, I'm sure it wasn't called a foyer, but it was probably called the court and parlor. But anyway,
Did they have did they have a chaise lounge instead of a chase lounge?
A chaise lounge. But all I know is when we saw the price of that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, my mom and my aunt's like, we're out of here, and I think we went to Hardee's.
Interesting fact here. It says that a survey in 2002 shows that the average American will have eaten a whopping 1,500 PB&J sandwiches before high school graduation.
I think I hit that by age 5.
That's an odd. That's an odd time frame.
It is
until a high school graduation. So you're telling me by June 4th, 1989, I had consumed that many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, including the one that caused me to vomit in 4th grade. That caused more recess for everyone. I fell on the sword and ate that PB&J and vomited on my desk and caused everyone else to have more recess. Did I ever get paid for that?
No.
Did I ever get paid back from that from the class of '89 from Sardinia? No, I did not.
Your intestinal must did get us extra recess.
It says here that the average person 1,500 PB&Js by the time they graduate high school, but when you deduct handles, Brady has eaten 7.
Fair criticism. I've left
Sorry,
a lot
Brady.
of
I knew the
smiles.
I knew the food thing would just make you an open target, Brady. I'm not trying to pick on you, man.
Yes, you are.
Okay, Dawn, after all these years, has finally thanked me for my distress, and her and you, Brady. You've never thanked me.
I did.
Dawn
too.
just thanked me.
I thanked you that day. I even said so in the podcast. We were outside the window, basically making victory things, going, "Thanks, Eric." And I hightailed it to the teeter-totter.
A couple things here. First of all, Brady, since you're the only one of us who likes the bread puddings, apparently Arnold's downtown has an amazing bread pudding.
It's Breb's Puddings.
Breb's Puddings.
And Tanya says her kids and hubby love PB&J sandwiches, like grilled PB&J sandwich.
I have done that once. Can I tell? And I'll make it quick. I promise. I indulged myself into a very gourmet. I was feeling creative one day, so I made French toast, and I slightly grilled it, and I put peanut butter and honey and banana slices, and basically it was a French toast, PB, and nanner.
Now wait a minute. That does not fall into number 99 on the list. I mean, the number 99 just says PB&J without all these frilly things, honeys
Yeah.
and nanners and whatnot.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
But 95, Brady, this is going to tickle your fancy, sir. Cuban sandwich. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
on the list of American foods?
Yeah, I thought that too. I see if it explains it. Cuban or Cubano, grilled pressed sandwich with a Cuban bread.
Well,
It was
just
a
like
Oh, here you go. It was originally invented by Cuban immigrants in Florida.
in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
There
nice.
you go.
It is amazing. One of my favorites, definitely.
This says you can use different bread. Why would you? Or add ingredients such as lettuce, tomatoes, and mayonnaise. I want none of those things on my Cuban. I don't mind those things on other sandwiches, but not a Cuban.
And I like it
Yeah.
just a regular old Cuban.
94. Another one that makes me want to vomit. Shrimp's cocktail. Shrimp's cocktail. I can't imagine Brady doesn't like it because the main ingredients: ketchup, horseradish, and mayo. None of those things.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
It has been eaten by me to prove manhood.
Really?
I was trying to impress a lady friend in the group that she was with. We were someplace where the group ordered shrimp cocktail, and I didn't want to seem like a picky prance.
Yeah.
So
Even
I
though
ate
you
it.
are.
yeah.
So you were putting on airs.
Oh,
for
I
this
was putting on
for this
heavy airs.
young lady. Did that work out for you?
I deserved an Academy Award because I picked up that raw, cold kettle bug and put it in that red crap, and I took a bite of it, and I cannot believe that I did not vomit all over the waterfront, being the restaurant, the waterfront.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind fried shrimps and even scampi shrimps, but I do not like shrimps cocktails. All my family, my son and my daughter, my wife, all three love it. First off, I don't like horseradish. I don't like it anything. I don't want it on my roast beef. I don't want it on my shrimps. I don't want it on anything. I don't want it in my mustard.
Oh, Jim's question, outstanding. I wish I had asked it. Jim asked, were you in Louisville on a date when this shrimp cocktail situation occurred?
No, and I think that was the waterfront in Cincinnati. Was that a Jeff Ruby establishment?
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe it was. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so you weren't in Louisville with the girl you met on vacation and her boyfriend when
No,
you were trying to
no,
prove your manhood.
no. It was a horrible experience.
This is First off, another name, prawn cocktail. That doesn't have the ring to it that shrimp's cocktail does. But prawn cocktail. A lot of people think its origins go back to 19th century. A 19th century miner from California. Miner, as in that's what his work was. Not that he was under
his
18.
age.
Yeah. He first used oysters in a glass with a sauce, but over the years that has changed, obviously, to something slightly less grotesque.
Any cold seafood item is a no-go for me. Sushi, shrimp cocktails.
If it smells
no.
like low tide, no.
93. Grits.
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 And the whole grit-eating world cooks their grits in 20 minutes.
How does your grit defy the laws of physics? Okay,
I'm not a fan of grits or the porridge it rests in. I just don't like anything about grits.
I don't even think that rises to the level of porridge. It almost rises. That's like silage.
The only thing I like about grits is telling people to kiss my grits.
Okay, Flo.
Great minds think alike.
Oh, I heard that enough in 1978 to last me a lifetime, even now.
Let's just say that some of our elementary classmates rode that dead horse till it was bones.
We're at 92. Let's get to 90. I heard the buzzer go off, but we can get to 90 real quick. 92 ranch dressings. Ranch dressing.
But Brady's a no-go. Okay, food must be a very broad topic on this list. I obviously ranch dressing is something you consume. I would not. I guess it's a food, but I don't think when I think of food, I think of an entree or a side dish, not a condiment.
I think that we're probably headed to where one of these days on menus you're going to see just an order of ranch as something you order. I mean, just like we've talked where mac and cheese used to be a side, then it became a kids main dish, like on the kids menu portion, and now it's on the adult portions, and they usually sprinkle some bacon or something in it and call it an entree. So someday you're just going to see ranch as a side item or a starter, an appetizer or something. Just bowl of ranch to everybody in straws for the whole table. Well, no straws. So we forgot we're doing away with straws.
Like that, Brady.
Number 91, Jell-O.
Just Jell-O, no particular flavor. Just
Jell-O.
Not celery flavored Jell-O.
Oh.
Yeah, just Jell-O. Not much to say about this.
There's always room for it.
I don't mind Jell-O unless it's got fruits in it, nuts in it, shredded cheese on top of it. That bastardization of Jell-O.
Shredded carrots, once again, that is enough to take you off any American list.
Don't
and put
shred
you firmly
anything.
on a Soviet list.
I can give you a peach or something in it. I'm not going to eat it, but I can see where someone would like it. But don't put salty stuff on your Jell-O. Don't put protein on your Jell-O. Don't put dairy on your
this
Jell-O.
Nice plate of strawberry Jell-O cubes with
With
Italian sausage.
with minced meat on it.
Ugh.
Now, you don't like fruits in your Jellos?
I'm not a big. I like banana in my Jellos, but not much other fruit. Well, some tangerines or like the little. Is that what the cuties? I like
right.
those. Yeah, but I don't like peaches. I don't want chunks of pineapple.
What about grapes?
If it has the banana to balance out the sourness, then I don't mind.
How about marshmallows?
No.
Oh, I love marshmallows in my...
In your Jellos? Yeah, that's damn near a salad, Eric. You got marshmallows, fruits.
All you need to do is put some kind of foreign nut in it, and it's a salad.
I told you fruits. In as long as fruit is the base of the salad, that's acceptable in my world. You can't mix the lettuce and the fruit. You can't mix. You cannot put meats in any salad in my world. Fruit salad.
Hang on a minute.
Lettuce salad.
Whoa. You mean you don't like a chef salad with like ham or turkey, like a chicken or something, or a grilled chicken salad or anything like that?
No. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm talking, as we discussed earlier, bologna salad,
Salad
ham
spreads.
salad, egg salad. No.
You don't
None
want
of
salad
that
spreads.
No.
Why is it called a chef salad when it requires no cooking whatsoever? It could be a clerk salad.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
All right, this last one. So this is 90. So this will be an easy place for me to stop and remember where we were for the next time we come back to this. But I'm going to do my best to pronounce this. It looks easy, but mofongo.
What?
Mofo.
It's short for it's short for blanking and go. Mofongo, Mofongo. It's Puerto Rican.
NGO.
Mofongo was his name. Mofongo. It's Puerto Rican. It's a Puerto Rican dish from fried unripe plantains, which are then pulverized and mashed.
Pulverized.
Yeah.
Mashed. So mashing does not pulverize them? You have to pulverize and mash them.
I want smashed, mashed, and pulverized potatoes with gravy.
That does sound like a Waffle Jesus order.
It's like I get to see somebody say, no, take the plantains away. In Puerto Rico, we don't do this. This is not pulverized.
Yeah,
that's a very Russian Puerto Rican accent there, Brady.
Russia Rican.
So all you need is a bowl to pulverize, a pulverizer. You need something to hit it with, and salt, garlic, fried plantains, and I don't know how Chicharon, Chicharron, or Chicharon, whatever that is.
See, I was excited at first until they put. What did you say was in? Did you say garlic?
Garlic.
Garlic and plantain. Like, it's garlic and nanner basically. That's not congruent.
Yeah. It's also you can. It says the starchy dish is further enriched by the addition of ingredients such as lobster,
Lobster.
prawns.
Prawn.
That's a sound my gut would make after I ate it.
What? Eric, I think we're laughing at the same thing, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay, garlic, chicken, or bacon. Although mofongo is Puerto Rican, it has African origins, as it was originally brought to Puerto Rico by slaves from Western and Central Africa. It's also today. It's popular in Cuba, the Dominican Republic, where it's called mango.
So that would be Dominican Republic.
Dominican, yes. Sorry,
The
it's hard to read.
Dominican Republic.
It's hard to read and think and talk at the same time. Damn it.
And you're not a teacher or anything.
Well,
It's right from Cuba.
do as I say, not as I do. Not only that, but you should see how tiny the damn writing is on this thing. So I'm going to make all kinds of excuses. It's called mango.
Stop it!
What are we, 12? Come on, guys.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And the plantains are not fried; they're boiled in Cuba and the Dominican Republic. Mofongo is usually consumed as a main dish, served with broth and fried meats. Due to its starchiness, that is ideal for absorbing all the flavorful juices.
Wow.
For all that eloquent spelling out, I have a simple word. No. 9.
9.
All right.
All right. So we have several comments on our food list
I bet
here.
we do.
Celia hated PB&J. She'd rather have cheese sandwiches as a kid.
With ranch.
Rosh. Josh says there's a few students who will eat 10,000, or 1,080, PB&J sandwiches by the time they leave elementary school.
Oh, yeah. You make fun of my word mistake, but you put an extra 0 on that.
Dominican, yeah. Tanya hates shrimp cocktails.
Yes.
Cheesy grits are great, according to Josh, and Becky likes the Cracker Barrels.
Cracker
Grits.
Barrels. Hang on a minute. Do they not have them anymore, or was she said had? Do they?
Had, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, maybe they don't have them anymore. I've never eaten them.
I couldn't imagine Cracker Barrel giving up a grit.
You're half right, Carrie.
Yeah. Carrie just thinks we're a bunch of wackos.
By the way, thank you, Carrie, for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Joe, ranch is a condiment like ketchup and mustard, indeed. Amy says, hey guys, Amy,
Hey,
happy
Amy.
birthday, Amy.
Happy birthday.
to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, Amy. It's hard to do via the internet.
I was trying to slow down to match up with you, and then I just sounded like I was on Quaaludes.
I felt I was faster than you. That was weird. I was watching your lips, but it wasn't connecting. So, happy birthday, Amy.
Yes. Joe says, what about college cheese?
College cheeses.
I don't know if he's just asking about college cheese in the list or college cheese in Jell-O, because I think that's where that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Some people
yeah.
have college cheese in their Jell-O, and I will have no such thing.
Not up
Jell-O,
again
damn
it
it.
or in it.
No. April says, I think we use Jell-O differently. I will not go there.
Wrestling.
Yeah. Tanya says, gelatin is made from collagen from animal parts. Think about that the next time you eat Jell-O.
Yeah, I heard it had horse hoof in it.
Yeah. Horse up in it and up again it.
Won't eat tuna, chicken, egg, or etc.
I eat eggs. wifey.
I eat eggs.
I eat no tuna,
Bazooka!
no tuna salads, chicken salads, egg salads. That's correct.
So do you not like tuna at all, or just you won't eat it when it's called salad?
I can't. How can I get beyond the smell of tuna to actually consume it?
Douse it in mustard, man. Open the can, fill it with mustard.
What's the use? You can't eat something without it. Don't drown your food in ketchup or goo.
In ketchup or mustard or goo. Yuck. It's
That-
no
now
fun
you-
to eat what you can't even see. So
Don't drown your food.
That's very close to sounding like one of my pet peeves of the a good steak don't need no A1 sauce. I like A1 sauce, so back off. A good steak is even better with A1 sauce.
Kelly says Jello's evil. Amber from Japan. It's kind of like potatoes with meats and gravies.
Is what?
I don't know where that came in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
conversation, but maybe
Give us
Amber.
some context, Amber.
Amber says, if I remember correctly, my
Oh.
high school class had it when we were in Puerto Rico. So,
I'm
yeah,
assuming
that
she's
was
talking about mofongo.
the mofongo.
Amber,
the-
while you're on here, these gifts came from Japan. Amber sent us these 2 bags of Japanese snacks, and we are probably going to consume them live on Play It By Ear.
Yeah, I can't wait to dig into those. Thank you, Amber.
Yes. All right, so that's topic number 1, gentlemen. As we usually do when it comes to food, we just really go above and beyond.
Who would have thought food could be so fun and funny?
Well, exactly.
It can be.
All right, so to remind you again, and our website at playitbyearpodcast.com. Please visit and get updates on our show. I will be uploading the isms here shortly. I had to get clearance from my showmates to do that. We've been working on the isms. They will be on the website.
Clarence.
And Clarence. Yes. So look on the
Roger.
website for the play-by-ear isms, and you can kind of tell what we're talking about sometimes since we go off the rails a little bit. But again, playitbyearpodcast.com. All right, topic number 2. Mr. Liming, that is you.
Thank
I'm a
you.
poet and don't know it.
We are not getting too far ahead of ourselves here with the holiday season coming up, but my school that I teach at, the language arts teacher, is reading the greatest Christmas pageant ever, and it kind of got me to thinking about music programs. Now, not necessarily all related to Christmas programs, but I got to waxing poetically and thinking nostalgically back to our elementary music plays and musicals and music class in general and the programs that we did. And as I got to thinking about it, I got to crack it up because daggone, it's some funny stuff. So before I begin, let me preface it with this. And this is an international truth. I would say 98%. Guys, as in gentlemen, we had to act like we didn't like music class because that wasn't cool. But we secretly liked it. We liked singing, but we just didn't want to be caught dead actually singing in music class and acting like we were having fun. It was some of our, testosterone-fueled, masculine, kind of archetypes there. But that being said, we had tremendous fun in music class.
But except for the day where you had to go and do the test, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And especially
La, la,
certain
la,
years,
la,
yeah,
la.
certain years if your voice was cracking, it wasn't quite
Yes.
as and every damn person in the class was listening. The teacher would be like, don't listen, do whatever, but every kid's listening intently, waiting to hear you completely butcher
yeah.
the test.
Yeah, and if you happen to listen to like MTV that weekend, so you're gonna start busting into some Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, me, da da da, la, 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 la. And then you would come out like that air raid siren, and then it just would not come out the way that you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, embarrassing times.
So shout out to all of our music teachers,
Especially.
we all had the same music teacher, Mrs. Odland.
Yes.
Well, I guess Todd had Mrs. Odland probably all the way through. We had Mrs. Warren early on.
Mrs. Warren early on, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Mrs. Odin the entire time.
So, we all have pleasant memories and everything, but let's dabble into some programs and some things that we had to do. Now, let's start off in the early years. Everybody had that favorite music song that we look back on it now as kid stuff, but yet you'll still find yourself singing it in the shower or walking in the hall one day. So, the first one that comes to my mind is the the button you must wander, 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 button you must wander, and you had to pass something around the circle and sing till it stopped. And then Eric always liked getting dramatic with the one line. I will allow you to do it.
You've lost me there, but I believe the item was a button, hence the song.
Yes. But Eric, I will say the lyrics, and then I want you to perform them like you always did. The bright eyes will find you, sharp eyes will find you.
I don't remember.
Oh, you would always go, bright eyes will find you, sharp eyes
will
will find
you. Bright eyes will find you.
Dramatic.
Yes.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic, yes.
I don't remember that one. Was that Mrs. Warren you mentioned, or is that Mrs. Odland?
Second grade jumps to mind.
Okay. And I don't know if Mrs. Odland listens to our podcast. I don't know if she's ever chimed in, but if she's listening tonight, or if she's listening to this at some point, nothing but good memories. Even when she forced us to watch the who was it? Not Backstreet Boys, not NSYNC. Before that,
New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block. Even when she forced us to watch the New Kids on the Block concert for class, but still great memories. The hardest part for me, though, and I'll keep it PG, but it's trying to remember the actual lyrics of the songs rather than the parodies that we all made years later when we became adults.
Yes. Yeah. So, Eric, we basically had the same experiences. One that comes to mind is when we did a Grease takeoff, and I believe it was 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I remember the look of shock on my sister's face. She said, well, what part do you have? And I said, well, I kind of do the dance and sing on Grease Lightning. And she went, but I didn't know there was an unedited version. I just knew what we sang. And
let's just say the wagon that we sung about in 7th grade was not the same wagon they sung about in the movie.
It was a demon wagon.
Not in the movie, it wasn't.
No, it was feline in nature in the movie. But it was that we ain't bragging, it's a real demon wagon.
Feline in nature.
Well, that's the word. In case we broke Eric.
Broken.
Oh. While he's regaining his breath, but that does take a bit. We kind of did the Grease thing, and
I was boy 3.
You were boy 3.
Boy 3.
The most important of the boys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Forget boy 1 and 2. Boy 3 was the man who stole the stage.
I moonlighted as the key grip, but I timed it so he was drinking. So, but we let's see, we did the Grease thing, but one of my fondest music memories was for our 8th grade graduation from Sardinia Elementary. We sang the most popular song of the day, and it was "We Are the World." Now, much to the consternation of Miss Odland, and we were MTV watching kids. We were youths that watched it. We would like to try to mimic the artists. And what caused particular annoyance is when I would sing the Willie Nelson and the Bob Dylan parts. God shown us by turning stone bread. And then, we make a better day, just you and me. And she would get really irritated because I would nail it. I would pull it off perfectly. But it wasn't. Let's face it, Bob Dylan can't sing.
Yeah, I was going to say, now, I like Willie, but
I was partial to the Huey Lewis part at that time.
Yes. And you did the clenched fist.
There's nowhere we can fall.
And
Wow,
don't
wow, wow, wow.
are we making fun of Hugh Lou in the new?
No, we're not making fun.
No, I was
right?
making fun of Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi
who sang
Lauper, yeah.
after Huey Lewis.
Who actually is a very good singer. I just don't know why
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you tried to put the soul in the Daryl Hall part, it's like, it's true, we make a better day, just you and me. And, you know,
Do you think there are any of our listeners who have no idea what you're talking about when you say that we are the world? I mean,
Probably.
we should
minute.
link a clip or link a to a video of the "We Are the World."
So Celia says Miss Zodlin sends her love. She can't listen right now.
Oh, send love right back to her, Mrs.
Yeah.
Send her my love.
Send love back to her. Tell her that she can listen later on
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yes.
YouTube,
Yep.
and
Spotify.
Yes, exactly.
So are we only talking programs, or are we talking just any song we remember about music class? I don't remember a lot of programs.
open.
I think our 8th grade song was "Friends Are Friends Forever." I think that was. I don't know who sings that song, but I think that was
That's
our.
a Michael W. Smith song.
That's what I
isn't it?
thought.
Yes.
And friends are friends forever. That's all I remember.
And now Brady in 8th grade, we did the wagon train. What was it called?
Go West.
Go west. Yeah.
I remember watching that.
West.
You remember watching that?
Was that a play that they did for the public? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my sister was how much older. Where are you guys in relation?
Yeah,
to
your
this?
sister probably would have been in it because
I
she
think
was
so.
a
She
year
Would have
behind us.
been 1 year.
Yeah, I remember going to that performance there at the Sardinia Gymnasium.
I was the wagon
wagon
master. I was. That was kind of a big part.
It
You-
was.
from boy number 3 to wagon master. You
how about that for a shot to fame there in 1 year?
Brady, were you in that one?
Ironically, yes.
What were you?
I was Dr. Okay, hold on. Oh, and I had this written down.
He had to sit down because he was injured.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
I was the doctor that sold a miracle cure for everything. As an irony would have it, I'd had foot surgery, was in a huge cast. So that made it funnier. People thought it was actually kind of like part of the act. But
Yeah. Was there a breakdancing part in that play?
there was after I got done with it.
No,
I'm kidding.
around that same time I remember a breakdance. I mean, I know it wouldn't fit the theme, but was it like a little interlude or a little like I remember that.
Sardini, you electric boogaloo.
Well, I remember breakdancers. I actually remember the kids' names. I won't say them because we don't typically say names. I'll text you guys the names later. And then I remember they were like known as breakdancers, and this would have been when breakdancing was kind of popular. And you know, myself being, I don't know what grade I would have been in then. What year was that?
This would have been
1980.
85. 85.
So
1980. 1985.
1985. That would have been a little bit later, but I was part of a breakdancing troupe. And, we would go around. I don't know what you call a group of breakdancers.
Popping and locking.
A breakdancing school, a breakdancing herd. I don't know. What do you call a group of breakdancers?
A coven.
A murder of breakdancers.
A murder.
A bevy.
A bevy. Anyway, we would go around to the younger grades and perform breakdancing routines for the younger kids, and
Ain't no stopping us.
yeah, we weren't very good. Shocker, we
Oh,
weren't very good. Yeah,
Yes. Kyle says it's a posse.
posse. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not to be confused about that wagon they sung about in Greece. Not the one we sung about, but the one they sung about.
I don't remember any programs when I was coming up. Like I remember there was a Christmas
Well-
program every year.
Celia was in a program, so you must have been in a program.
No, I didn't go to the same school.
That's
true.
Now wait a minute. You think she did programs at Sardinia, not Russellville, or vice versa?
See, I'm reading what
They
she's
just
saying.
didn't do them together.
Can you put that back up there for a second so I can read? I was trying. Land of a
program was
Thousand Dances.
Land of a Thousand Dances. Ryan Dotson played.
Sorry.
Hey,
You
she
had
said
to
it.
loan a male a dress for the show.
I don't remember that. I'd have to get clarification on whether we did that at Sardinia.
My public debut was in a third grade program. I was Mr. Turkey. And I got to wear
Mr. Turkey, that's
yeah,
a
it's
fancy way to walk.
walk. And I got to wear a red water balloon under my chin. and I had balloons over my tail. And I wore bright orange socks.
I don't remember the red water balloon.
I can't remember. What's that thing called hanging off of a turkey's throat?
A gobble.
A gobbler.
A gobbler,
Is it a gobbler?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, you probably had the. Did you like? It would have looked more realistic had they taken the water out of it and let it just shrivel up. And it's. I mean, because a gobbler is not a perfect sphere. I mean, it's.
It
need
was
to be
it was
all
partially
wrinkled.
inflated. And I remember it being elastic, and I had to wear it over my head, and then the cowl of my turkey costume
Yeah,
covered up
that's.
the yeah.
It sounds like you might have had the tersest gobbler ever. Very tweaked. Tot. You had a tot gobbler.
I get the feeling this episode's going to be an instant classic.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you actually sit on your gobbler when you sit on the side? Of the
No, but true story. There was one student in our class that was not allowed to stand beside of me because the teacher had a fear that he would try to pop my tail feather balloons.
I'll text you who I think that was.
You won't get it.
Eric, you okay, Eric?
No, I'm not.
Oh man.
Now we did one in 6th grade too, didn't we? That was our first one. That was the first one we were in. I think she was doing it before that, and I can't remember what it was.
There was a hee-haw one too.
No, hee-haw was 7th grade. No, wait a minute. Grease was 6th grade. Yee-haw.
It
That's what it
was
was called.
hee-haw.
It was yee-haw because you can't use yee-haw. That's trademarked. Yee-haw was 7th grade, and Go West was 8th grade.
I think
Yes.
the Yeehaw is the one I remember. It had a breakdancing part in it.
Very well could
Ooh,
have.
despair breaking down on me.
That's we need to ask Miss Odland where the breakdancing. I know there was a breakdancing segment in one of the musicals, one of the plays.
Well, your sister would have been a 6th grader, so she would have been in that as well.
I don't think she listens. I might text her and ask her where people broke dance.
What a melting pot where kids dressed up like Roy Clark and Buck Owens would be breakdancing.
I might be just dreaming it all. I don't know, but I know I remember some because that's why my posse was inspired by the older
My
break
dreams
dancers.
have all breakdancing, you know. Oh,
So yeah, and
Kyle, were you in my breakdancing posse? Because he would have been a year older than me, but I think there were a couple kids a year older than me or so in it, but Kyle might have been in it.
did you have the Alfonso Ribeiro breakdancing kit that I sold on TV?
No, I did not.
It had like the fold out like slicky surface so you could do the tricks, and there was a video to teach and a book to teach you the moves. And Alfonso Ribeiro was the maven of breakdancing as seen on TV.
Is that from the
TV's
Silver
called.
Spoons
Alright.
days?
Yeah.
here we are, face to face, a couple of silver spoons. All right. Have some comments from the audience regarding music programs and such. Becky played Mary in the church program in middle school.
Nice.
She is so saintly.
Nice.
Reminds me of have you guys ever seen Four Christmases? With Vince Vaughn, and
yeah.
Oh,
My wife watches every Christmas movie
but
coming and going.
this is different. It's got Vince. It's a real movie. It's not a Hallmark or a Lifetime movie.
It's a real movie.
But you got to watch the scene where they play Mary and Joseph. When they go to the church and they have to fill in for Mary and Joseph. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Paul says he never enjoyed music class. The song selection was never good. I won't say because our music teacher will probably watch here. So, Miss Wilson says one of her favorite junior high music songs is about the Zulu king who fell in love with a sweet young thing. That must have been before our time. I don't remember that one. Kelly remembers when we did "We Are the World." So yeah, that was legendary. Becky saw Bob Dylan in concert. God bless her.
Look at man.
Let's see. Joe. Friends Forever was a song by the Zack Attack on Saved by the Bell.
I think you're right, Joe.
Oh my!
What amazing! I don't know whether to be embarrassed or Joe is. If you don't mind me asking, I can't remember how old Joe is, but he's younger than I am, by several years, I think. Right, Eric?
Yes.
And so I don't know if he was watching Saved by the Bell at the same time I was. Was he watching it at a young age, or was I way too old to be watching Saved by the Bell?
Probably both.
Because when he was our guest with the Christmas in July, I think we talked about Saved by the Bell, and he has a lot of knowledge of shows that I was watching, and so I'm guessing I was way too old to be watching those shows at the time. So.
Well, no, I'm guessing you were probably watching for different reasons.
Perhaps.
And
Kapowski.
No, Kapowski.
Yes.
So Kyle says he will either sadly or ecstatically state he was not part of said posse.
Sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to lump you in there. I know there were some older Utes.
I'm trying to make the gangland symbol for Staten Road, but I can't.
Like a video with a breakdancing throwback would be a great. Oh my gosh.
Maria feels like a video with breakdancing throwback would be a great idea.
The only thing popping would be my joints, and locking would be my spine.
My hip.
Yeah.
What is it? We would be so unhip, we would be dysplasia.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, I want to give a plug out. Maria has a podcast of her own, and I just want to say that she's a Facebook friend of mine and a former student's parent, and she is one of the funniest human beings ever. Her Facebook posts regularly break my ribs laughing.
What is her podcast? We do a cross promotion here.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll have her pipe in there, and once again, it's one I should know and have committed to memory. But it's been a long day.
And thank you for checking us out, Maria. I'll definitely check. I didn't know there were other local podcasts to listen to. So
I guess if Maria's funny, she thinks we're funny because she put two laughing emojis there. So that's good.
At least it's not a weeping kitty face, which is good.
Maria, chime in there with the name of your podcast, and we'll throw it out there. And there it is. Successfully Chaotic.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
Very nice. We'll check that out, Maria. Thank you.
Yes, we will.
Everybody else, check out Maria's podcast.
Yes, Successfully Chaotic. That's a good name. That I like that name. That's a real good name. All right, so that was topic number 2. Gentlemen, very good topic. So, before we move into topic number 3, if you would like to support what we do financially, you can go to playitbyyourpodcast.com/support. And we do incur some expenses here and there with some of the things we do, the software we use to stream out to you, and the cost of the website, and different things that we have. I mean, it's not extraordinary expense, but it's a little bit. So if you like what we do and you'd like to see it continue, please do so. You can go to our website and go there and have a look at that. But we do thank Joe Rocky, Christina Rocky, and Jessica Longacre for their support on that note.
As well as Vacation Architect LLC.
Yes.
Christy and Joe Rocky's business. Check them out if you're looking to get away.
And I'll bet they could even find you a vacation in COVID world.
Yeah.
Even though those are probably a little tougher to come by right now, but check them out. They can probably.
Bora Bora.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, check them out, vacationarchitect.com, and they can set you up. All right. Topic number 3 is mine. Mine. All right, it has been a while, so we will revisit, as we do every once in a while.
By popular demand.
Yes, this seems to go a popular topic of sorts. Am I, in a play-it-by-ear parlance, the asshole?
The ANUs.
ANUs. Yeah, I probably should have slash marked that. Asshole ANUs. So this is where the audience participation comes in. Certainly we will get the opinion of our co-host here, my co-host, about if the person here in said situation is an ANUs. We would like to hear from you as well. Do you feel that these people in these situations, and these are taken from Reddit. Reddit is just a treasure trove of interesting things that people put up, and really, who knows if they're necessarily true, but they do provide some food for thought, I guess, if nothing else. So, and I kind of took a Christmas bent to all this. So, kind of a interesting side note here as we are in December near Christmas. So, first situation. My computer is not cooperating.
While you're doing that, it might be a good time to plug to tell people that we have a Christmas episode coming up.
We do.
And so it'll be next week, and instead of our normal Wednesday at 7, it will be Tuesday at 7. So, and again, it will be all Christmas themed. I wish I could tell you what we're going to talk about exactly. We don't know yet, but it will be a Christmas special Play It By Ear podcast at 7 o'clock next Tuesday, December 22nd.
We are not going to tell you what we're going to wear.
Yeah, December 22nd. So hopefully you guys can join us for our Christmas episode and help us say goodbye to 2020.
Thank God.
Yeah.
All right. First situation. And the title is AITA. For ruining Christmas by refusing to humor my brother's controlling attitude. You got to love the family gatherings at Christmas. They can be wondrous and they can be a little trying at times. But here in this particular situation, this gentleman's brother used to be very much someone who believed in raging against the machine, or whatever, is what he says. He joined the military, and when he came back, he was extremely straight-laced. Like he is a totally different person, now obsessed with tradition. Yesterday, he started questioning me again about my child-free, marriage-free status. I've been urged by family to just lie and coddle him, but this time I kind of got angry. I mean, he's a full-grown adult, and it's my life. Why should I have to tiptoe around him? All told him that I wasn't planning on getting married or having kids ever. He threw a fit and turned into a massive fight, after which he stormed out of the house and blocked me on everything. I guess I could kind of understand if I was nasty or mean, but I wasn't. I just told him I didn't want kids or get married. Now everyone is saying I've ruined Christmas and that it would have cost me nothing to play along and just humor him. To me, it seems insane that the family is carefully lying to my brother about such stupid crap. He doesn't use the word crap, but to avoid setting him off. I don't think being in the military is an excuse to act like that. I mean, he was only ever in America and a city in Germany. I don't know. Am I the asshole? And we do have military people in the audience, so I don't know if this is necessarily a military thing. It just is a general people having their opinion thing. But
I'll start out by saying that, I don't know that you'll find a bigger supporter of the military than myself and you gentlemen, the Play It By Ear podcast. But I don't know that even really comes into play here. I don't know that, being in the military does not eliminate the possibility of you being an asshole. So I don't know. I'm kind of taking the whole military thing out of this entire story to make my decision. So I'll start by saying that. And Brady, you look like you want to chime in here.
I was to say, going into the military, I'm assuming, does not turn you into an immediate domestic, you get through boot camp and all of a sudden you're required to have children, and that's nonsensical.
Yeah, I think, to me, this is black and white. It's a matter of it's just none of your business, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So
I guess the ultimate question is, should he feel some shame for causing a rift in the family gathering for not just going along to get along? I guess that's the ultimate question here.
I got you. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brady.
I know we have to go in true AITA fashion. We're just going by the facts we're given, and sometimes we like filling in the blanks, projecting what we think. There is no circumstance where this guy is the ANUs that I could think of, unless there's something he's leaving out. Now, is he being critical if he's, oh, you just want to, marry and settle down and become a breeder that pops out children? And if he's professing, I don't know. If this guy just doesn't want to get married, that's one. But it's not like, it's none of their business, and I don't see why it's an issue unless this fellow is being a jerk, which doesn't sound like he is, because he said he's not even confrontational about it.
No, but he is the one writing it, so that's always something to take into consideration.
Yeah.
I guess, Eric, when you put it the way you were putting it there, I think you should do all things possible to be respectful of this. So this happened at a family gathering,
Yes.
a holiday family gathering, correct?
Yes.
So I'm not a big fan of airing out issues amongst yourselves in
This
front of
isn't
your parents.
Festivus.
And I mean, so could have it been handled? I don't know. I mean, could have they gone? Could have one been asked to step away and talk about it, away from everyone? I mean, but I could see where if he caused a scene and kind of ruined everybody's holiday, it kind of brought their issues, their personal disagreements to the surface in front of everybody. I could see how that was maybe unnecessary, but I don't know that that's enough to call him the asshole.
I mean, if he was declaring his love that he wanted to enter a domestic partnership with a bale of hay, that would be like if it was something like totally whack. But I just don't think it just sounds like the guy was like maybe just enjoying a single professional life.
Yeah, if the aggressor in this situation was the one looking like a jerk in front of the family, the guy probably could have let him look that way and not, not added to it or not introduced himself into it. He could have. It sounds like everybody would have been like, well, "What's this guy's problem?" And then the family get together would have been over, and then it could have been dealt with at another time. So,
Yes.
But again, I don't know that it's enough to call him the asshole. Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, well, and by the way, I think it's very well stated that we have the Kyle King rule on some of our games where we have the high-low situation. I believe we have the extreme rule when it comes to AITA, and the extreme rule is, as their, I believe it was 1991 album stated, there are 3 sides to every story. So,
Extremes.
Extremes, yes. So not knowing only what we see here, as you said, he's the one that wrote it. Yeah. I think it probably sounds to me like it had come to a point where the straw broke the proverbial camel's back, and he had had enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was done respectfully, and according to the way he wrote it, it was. Now, very well could have not have been, maybe, but I don't think there's any harm in respectfully stating your opinion and saying you've had enough of that. So I don't think he is an asshole or an ANUs or any of those things.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, audience, what say you? Amber says dude is a butt, and she's in the military, so...
is she meaning the... I'm sure she's mean.
Matthew Vera says
Our
he is
two
a
listeners
hothead.
from Japan.
Yes, a hot-headed boot.
Nice.
Is boot a military term of some sort? I don't know.
I think he's just giving the German pronunciation a butt.
Boy, a hothead boot. Yes.
Boot.
Miss Wilson says maybe he could have just said, quote, "I understand that is how you feel. How about those Patriots?" Unquote.
Don't get Eric started on the Patriots.
That causes a whole different argument in the family gathering. So, any other comments from the audience on whether this particular individual is AITA or not? We'll see what the audience has to say about that. I don't know. I said he is not. What voted you? What were your votes there?
My vote was he is not.
He is not an
Okay,
ANUs.
so we all say he is not an ANUs. Okay. All right. Second situation. Again, a Christmas-based situation. AITA for refusing to get my in-laws anything for Christmas to prove a point to my husband. Oh, this will be interesting.
I'm
By the way,
popcorn.
but before I go on, Amber tells us about boot. Boot meaning someone fresh from boot camp but doesn't know anything yet, but waves the "I'm in the military" flag. Very
Gotcha.
good. Very
Gotcha.
good. Derek, also another career soldier here. Boot is another term for soldier. So, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Our audience is full of knowledge, and we have people from all walks of life who listen to our shenanigans, so we appreciate all of you. All right. Again, AITA for refusing to get my in-laws anything for Christmas to prove a point to my husband. So this couple has been together 9 years. She is a 29-year-old female. He is a 30-year-old male. They have 2 kids. She adores her in-laws. They are fantastic people, get along with them swimmingly. Her family is far from perfect and raised her in a very toxic environment. So having positive people like in-laws in my life has been a godsend. However, her husband knows how toxic her family was when growing up. He refuses to include them in anything. This is the only downfall in our marriage. They have never done him wrong or done myself wrong for years, but he just doesn't care. Not the word she used, but just doesn't care. Completely disregards that they even exist. We get his family something for Christmas every year, as well as spending the eve and the day with them every year. Her family is lucky to get a Merry Christmas text. So the lady's sister is almost 18, just found out she is pregnant. She lives with her boyfriend's parents, who have made both her and her boyfriend's lives a complete hell since finding out. Her sister and boyfriend both work part-time, went to school, but after his parents found out they were pregnant, made their son drop out of school and get a full-time job. They also upped their rent from $400 a month to $800 a month, even though their rent is only $950. So they're paying most of the rent. Plus, they have to buy their own food, pay the internet and electric bill, can't take showers all but once a week to save on water, and basically are limited to their bedroom. They practically have to ask to use the bathroom, and they have deliberately made her sister feel like crap, not the word she uses, by saying they won't be carting her rear end around to any appointments for free. Again, not her words. Knowing this info, she wanted to get her something for the baby, knowing that there was no way that they could afford living under her boyfriend's parents' roof, wanted to buy her a crib, the same one she had for her kids, the one that changes into a toddler bed, then to a day bed, and so on. She got it for $199 on sale. She had purchased hers for $699. So she told her husband she wanted to buy it, and he went crazy, lost his crap, again, not her words.
His feces.
His feces, yes. Said that he wasn't going to break the bank to support a child having a child, and said, quote, she decided to have a baby. She can go get a job and buy a crib. It's not my job to give her gifts, unquote. Mind you, I work full-time, more hours than him by a long shot, but he works salary and technically makes more. She was livid, she'll admit, and immediately snapped back with, quote, well, looks like we will be crossing mommy and daddy off the Christmas list because they have jobs and can buy their own gifts, unquote. Since that conversation, I've held the same tune, though he claims he is entirely different and that I am an A-News for trying to compare the two Christmas gifts / baby gifts. Is she the asshole?
Man, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot.
That's a lot of anery.
Indeed.
So, well, first off, this is not something. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a marriage counselor or therapist. But it sounds like this is something that bothers her.
Yeah.
And I think it will always bother her.
Yes.
And, unless it's remedied in some way. So I'll start with that, and then I'll go with. So she's asking: is she the asshole or is he the asshole?
Is she for not giving the gifts?
Yes. Well, ultimately, the question was she was not going to give gifts to his parents to make a point about not giving the gift to her sister. So she came back with, okay, well, then we're not going to give gifts to your parents since they have jobs and they can do whatever they need to do.
Okay.
Because he said, your sister needs to get a job, basically.
Now, and I know you said it at the beginning, I believe you did. How long have they been married?
9 years. They've been together 9 years. I don't know if that's all marriage. But.
And she says most of pretty much the entire time, they have not given her parents gifts.
Correct. But she loves his parents, her in-laws.
So I guess one of the things and it's not really an answer, but I think one thing I could probably ask is, for 9 years, I'm not saying she went along with it, but she, they didn't get her parents gifts, and it seems like the sister thing is the big catalyst here.
So I guess his take on it was none of her family was ever included in anything because I guess the sister was wasn't just a part of all this mess, even though she wasn't directly responsible for the mess. Mm-hmm. She was kind of included in, we're not going to even acknowledge your family.
Because of her genetic makeup.
Because she did not win the genetic lottery.
Yeah.
In the husband's mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brady.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry.
No, there's always a couple ways I think of looking at this game, if you could call it a game. I think you can analyze it and overanalyze it, and we all are very good at that, and we probably, could make this segment alone last for hours. But I think I try to make it black and white, and I think that, I think he's being an asshole. I think he was being an asshole 9 years ago when he wouldn't buy gifts for her parents. Then, I'm not saying he has to like his in-laws. I'm not saying he has to want to have anything to do with them. But if the tradition, if the tradition there is that they buy gifts for his family but not hers, I don't agree with that. I take her side on that.
Brady?
Yes, he is definitely an Anus. This 18-year-old kid, it's not like she is asking to bring them under roof and raise the child and the 18-year-old kid. It's a crib, man. And it's something not only to make the girl's life easier, but the well-being of the child better.
Yes. And
to refuse that, and the wife's and as my dad would say, it's no skin off his butt, honestly. It's like... this just seems like a what do you call it? A stance on principles, but these principles are noodly at best. Now, and I get her point, but it makes me feel bad because if his parents are nice people, it's not that they didn't ask for any of this.
Yeah, good point.
And they didn't ask for any of this. So I think there was a little bit of anery on her part, but the biggest anus is definitely him. But what?
Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry.
Good point. If I can jump in real quick, I think you're right. I think there's some assery to kind of hang above both of their heads. I agree. If she's taking out her hostility towards her husband on his family, who it sounds like have been nothing but good to her, and she likes and cares about. So I don't get that part. I mean, so she's going to end up doing there possibly is ruining that, tainting that relationship with his Again, we're not 12.
Yeah, we are.
But good point, Brady. I never even thought of that.
Well-
I mean, she's definitely she's treading on some dangerous
nice
territory
there.
there with her in-laws. Then there's no reason to mess that relationship up.
And here's the deal. I think she's away taking, and I think that she would flat out tell the wonderful in-laws, it's like, look, I love you guys, but if he is going to take a stance with principles, I'm going to take my stance on faulty principles to demonstrate his faultiness, which kind
Yeah.
of falls on under cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
So he is the major Anus, and she is a pediatric Anus. She's the small one.
and,
Well-
and used by proxy.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this also it's one of the, and I kind of goes back to what I said a second ago. There's an agreement that is typically made within a relationship and a marriage when you get to that point where she's calling them in-laws. So I'm assuming again they've been married for most of that 9 years. When you come to that agreement that this is how you're going to handle whether it be birthday gifts or Christmas gifts or whatever, it needs to be an agreement of either we're buying for or we're not buying for, and I don't fault if they choose not to buy for either, that's fine, but as today is my 20th anniversary, so I will shout out a happy anniversary to the beautiful and talented Celia Griffin. And 20 years, I've learned a few things. Mainly, I've learned how to mess up a lot. And but I think that again, whatever their agreement was, it's not very. It wasn't very fair. So I don't know why she dealt with it for 9 years. And
Yeah.
to me, she should have never agreed to. Hey, we're going to buy your family stuff and not mine. That.
I would like to interject, though. This gift for the 18-year-old, I don't even want to call this a holiday gift. She's having a baby.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah,
that-
you're right. But the
well,
first part of it was all about their agreement, or they never bought her family gifts. And again, I don't know what you kind of got to wonder if. And Eric, you might have said this. I apologize if you did, but you kind of got to wonder. Why was she okay with not buying her family gifts for all those years? I'm not saying
they
it
were
doesn't. It
probably
doesn't.
reprobates.
Well, it doesn't change him being an Anus, but it makes her an enabler somewhat to not put her foot down and say, hey, we're not going to buy your family things and not buy my family things. So I tend to think some good old communication could have probably benefited them from the beginning, but
Right.
I almost think it's too late for them. I think they're doomed.
Doomed. Okay. So I've not interjected on this yet.
Please do.
As I stated, I guess I did interject a little bit. The sisters seem to be, as far as the description here, an ancillary participant in this toxic family situation. Now, I don't know from the description here if sister was included in this whole. I assume she was, as you all said, that they were not buying gifts for any of the family, even though it seems as though the parents were the ones who created the toxic growing up situation. And sister was just an ancillary participant in such a situation. That being said, I go along with the two of you. I don't know why she was cut out. I could maybe even see cutting the parents out, but why cut the sister out? If she's the older sister, which obviously she is, she's 29, did she not take on a motherly role with her little sister growing up?
When this relationship would have started, that little sister would have been 11. Are you going to look
Yes.
at an 11-year-old kid and say, no gift for you? That's
Yeah.
terrible.
And apparently, I guess they did.
Oh.
So I will award her anally the title of anery for that. You know, there's no sense in that. An 11-year-old, as you said. Mm-hmm. That being said,
unless that was the agreement, and again, unless they weren't going to buy for each other's families at all, like you said,
right? Which obviously was not the case.
Exactly,
they were buying for his.
Yeah.
And she was fine with that. Mm-hmm. But she cut out her 11-year-old sister.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what. I mean, how can your relationship be bad? I'm assuming she probably left home at 18 or maybe even before that. But I mean, with a less than 11-year-old, how can your relationship be so bad that you want to totally cut them out of your life?
Is this a deal where this girl obviously, you know, had some issues and was maybe having some problems in life, and again cut her family off and had nothing to do with her family, and now she's kind of, you know, cleaning up her act, and she's getting, you know, becoming more successful. She's becoming more, you know, she's
getting a little guilt.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a very good point. You beat me to the punch there.
Sorry. I just,
yeah. So has she now reached the age of 29, and she said herself, you know, I work a lot of hours, I make a lot of money, I have my own money. So now do I need to go back and repair this relationship that my sister now I need to have with my sister, who's been, I guess, thrown out of her own house? Like, she had a toxic environment that I now have left her in as an 11-year-old and cut her out of my life for years. So now I need to go repair that, and I'm going to repair that by starting to buy a crib for a baby that she's going to have, which, you know, kudos to her for that, if that's what she wants to do. I don't know that she explained that to the husband. Maybe she did. I don't know. So yes, I will go along with the fact that the husband is the king Anus in this particular situation. And I think Joe said it eloquently here. She is not the Anus, but an Anus, but only because she stooped to the level of an Anus. So
well put.
Indeed.
Well put, Joe.
But
so,
just one more thing I keep going back to in my head, and again, it was maybe covered. That was a long backstory there. I have to go back and wonder what was the agreement for the 9 years, or what was because if they agreed together, or they somewhat, you know, that they were not going to have anything to do with her family for 9 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me read this again. So this may answer the question.
Yeah.
Beginning of the second paragraph here, the first sentence. However, because my husband knows how toxic my family was when I was growing up, he refuses to include them in anything. Second sentence, this is the only downfall in our marriage. So maybe she has all along been saying, hey, we need to include them, and he's like, no, not going to happen.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like she was hey, let's, you know, like for 9 years she was on board with not having anything to do with them and including them, and now all of a sudden she's wanting to. Because I was going to say, if that were the case, I can give him a little bit of a breather, because it sounds like she's the one who's flipping it on him. But good point there. Thanks for rereading that, because she clearly was wanting to. But also, is there something to be said for, you know, how bad did she paint her family to him? You know what I'm saying? Like if she's telling him, you know, in their courtship and marriage, you know, however long they, you know, this 9 years, and if she's telling them, hey, you know, this is what they did, they were terrible, my childhood was terrible, blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden, you know, if she's
protective,
yeah, or if she's, you know, she's ruined them for him in a way, ruined.
So it would be great if one of the kids was named Eddie, and you use that word. Now you would have the courtship of Eddie's father. People, let me tell you about my best friend. Okay. So
it's our duty. It's our duty to play devil's advocate and weigh all sides. We don't want to just, you know. So that's
again, you have to play. The extreme rule comes into effect. There are three sides to every story. Okay. That being said, we're going to go to the audience here. Tressa says her husband is an ass. Gary says 9 years was a pretty good run. Indeed.
That was bone dry wit there.
Miss Wilson, it should be a baby shower gift, not a Christmas one. I believe, Brady, you had said that. Jocelyn, with the practicality of the situation, she says an HDK account would have solved this. HDK meaning honey/hubby doesn't know or don't know. Funds to be used when needed. A slush fund of sorts.
Yeah.
Very Swiss.
Because I was wondering that too, because she was sure to mention that she makes decent money. I thought it was odd that she mentioned about working more hours than him.
Yeah.
Which again makes me think that there's they have some issues. They have some issues here.
There is a rift.
Comparisons.
There's more than one rift.
Comparison is the thief
There's
of joy.
a boil
you know?
that needs lanced.
Kyle with the wordy response here, but a very good response. He has been an ANUs for 9 years and continues to be. She has been an enabler for 8+ years and is a bit of a newly formed ANUs.
I think you.
As is the case with most double anusery. I can't even say the word. Anusery.
And usury.
The only real people being hurt here are innocent newborn child and innocent in-laws.
Good point. Excellent.
I've suddenly...
And that's a new word for the isms. Anusery.
Here's the deal. With great power comes great responsibility, and I feel from the power of our squishy mics that we have ruined the grammar of an entire listenership.
Yes, we have.
I love it.
We take great joy in it.
Great pride.
Good points, everyone.
Pride.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you always to the audience. Your wisdom is much appreciated. Because obviously our viewpoints are not the only viewpoints here.
Certainly.
That's why when we went this route of doing our lives over Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Twitter, and you have been a welcome addition to what we do. So,
but it is good to see that so many people agree with our, our input here. I mean, it's definitely
Our core values.
Yeah, it's not black and white. He's like Kyle said. There you have one 9-year ANUS and you have an 8+ year enabler. Who is a
lots
new
of anusery
and a new ANUS, a whole new ANUS,
and innocent bystanders of the
Yes.
anusery. All right. Once again, thank you very much, all. Am I the asshole is always a popular topic, and it's
we
a lot
don't
of
have
it's
time
due
for
to
one more.
you. Oh, we can.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We're only an hour and a half. We've gone longer.
Yes, we have. All right. Now you've caught me off guard. I have to.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
It's okay. I have plenty to choose from here, but this is an age-old question here, but not a Christmas-based one, but an age-old question. And this may go into a situation where you have two differing opinions amongst our audience. So, am I the asshole for getting upset about my boyfriend's guys' nights? Okay. So, this is actually an extension of a previous post. So this is kind of she'll give the background of what happened before. So, about 2 weeks ago, the female in the relationship posted on here asking if she was the asshole for getting mad at her boyfriend for guys' nights. A lot has happened since the previous post. So after she posted, she ended up contacting the girlfriends in the group to see what was up, and we started noticing some fishy stuff. Their boyfriends and the guys in the group would say the exact same things to them as they did to me. Stuff like, we'd invite you, but then the other girls would want to come. We also figured out that there were other nights where all the guys were free but wanted to do Saturdays for some reason. One of the girls was suspicious for this and many other reasons, so she checked her boyfriend's phone, which I don't condone at all, but that's what she did, according to the author of this. While looking, she found a group chat called Boys Night, which she had never heard of. She was super suspicious at this point and clicked it to be greeted by a bunch of very interesting messages from the boys in the group. Well, guess what? Turns out guys' night was really a go to a pub and cheat on your girlfriend night. The message was in reference to one of the girls' boyfriend was cheating with last week. In fact, all the other guys except one were cheating while the other one knew but kept quiet. Another lovely discovery from the chat was that he had been with the other girl, and I won't go into details there. He had also been putting her at a high risk of an STD, and so you can fill in the blanks, while also risking mine and my elderly grandfather's life because of COVID. Needless to say, we've broken up. I feel better for it, but right now I'm friendless, single, and doesn't feel fantastic. So yeah, definitely not the update I was hoping to do, but life clearly doesn't turn out the way you plan.
Can I interject here and say this is our first Am I the Asshole that has a COVID angle?
Indeed.
Yeah. COVID,
what times we're living in.
And applause.
Yeah. So checking the phone, I guess, is the analry here that ties into all of this.
I noticed you kind of interjected your opinion when you were reading that, Eric, on that particular point, and
I was just reading what she wrote.
I thought you were saying that you.
That's what
okay,
she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Yes, I don't condone what she did at all, by the way. But in the circumstance, I excuse it. Is what she said.
All right, now obviously checking the phone worked out for her this time. It sounds weird to say because obviously what she found out was not what she wanted to find out. But in the long run, it worked out for her. I am completely against checking your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend's phone. Sorry, if I am ready to if I anger anyone out there, I've angered people before, so I'm not a big fan of that. I don't. But there's a lot more here to chew on than just that. But I just wanted to start out by saying I'm not a fan of checking. If you're an adult and you are in a relationship with another adult, I don't believe in checking each other's phones.
Okay, here's another thing too to consider before you go on. I guess she has been shunned by not only obviously she broke up with her boyfriend, but all the girlfriends of the other boyfriends have shunned her as well. So she is friendless.
Gotcha.
In all of this. So that's essentially why she's asking, did I do something asshole-ish?
So why are her girlfriends not having anything to do with her? It's not very supportive.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I guess that's ultimately why she asked the question.
Can we designate many assholes here?
Sure.
Not many as in miniature. I mean many as in a lot.
A covey, a Bevan of assholes?
A Bevan asshole. Her friends her friends. Yeah.
A murder.
Her
friends. That's shame on them. You know. I mean, what?
Regardless of. Here's another angle of the question. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
no, that's
okay. So they have cut her astray. Should they also be breaking up with their boyfriends and staying friends with her, or should she be left adrift?
I think regardless of whether they break up with their boyfriends or not, it's their own business, but they should not shun her. I mean, am I alone in that? Can we all at least agree to that they should not be shunning her?
They shot the messenger.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Brady, what's your take?
My take is I don't get it.
Now, Brady, I don't let my fourth graders say I don't get it. You need to explain what you don't get.
Do I have to give
supporting
details?
What? Give me some supporting details, evidence from the text.
I'm going
Infer,
to
Brady.
Back.
Infer.
I'm going to skip ahead a few school years and harken back to geometry. And I'm going to use the BISS postulate because I said so. No, I'm kidding. By the way, that didn't go over very well.
Neither did the angle side postulate.
No. So, but my take on this is when I say I don't get it, I don't understand the angle that the girlfriends, the group of girlfriends, I don't know why they would be angry at her.
Yeah.
I will say that the phone check, even though one could call it divine intervention, that's usually that's bad form, because it's just like, even though it's kind of like your underwear drawer, even though there's nothing to hide, you just prefer people don't look at it because it's privacy.
Brady, apparently you've never seen my underwear drawer.
Nor would I check your phone. And
I'll show you my underwear drawer anytime, Brady.
and I would but I don't think I anyway.
Can we all just come together and say we would share our underwear drawers with everyone? It's Christmas, guys. It's Christmas.
As long as there's no mistletoe involved. Anyway, anyway, I broke Todd. So my stance is this, where I think she did some form wrong, but I don't get why the anger toward her. I mean, he was cheating frequently. I'm going to make the reference again because I think it kind of slid under the radar. Exposed her and her grandparent, her sick grandparent, to crustaceans and applause. And
That's a crab joke, people.
and clap. But anyway, so anyway, I think, I do not think she is an Anuse.
No.
I feel bad for the girl because she put a lot of trust in this, and this seemed like it hit like a ton of bricks. Like, it was very sneaky and on the sly. There was a lot of skullduggery going on, and I just kind of feel bad for her. And she is not an anus.
You got to watch that skullduggery.
She lost her. I mean, she lost her boyfriend and her friends over this, and that's again, I think that's why there's plenty of anusery going around here.
Yeah.
Can I? Okay, and I'm not trying to be entendre here, and this is a legit question. Do you think that there was some group like the girlfriends might have been in on some things that, like, kind of feel like the circle of trust was broken? And this is not excuse. This is not saying it's right. I am trying to kind of like come up with some kind of scenario, and I really can't. That's the only thing. I just think these girlfriends are showing blind loyalty to their boyfriends.
What's the age again? Was there an age mentioned?
I don't believe there was an age mentioned here.
Okay.
I mean, if they are polyamorous, it might be like. And I'm not.
Boy, you're reading a lot into this.
Well, you have to.
Well, and like I said, I'm not saying this, but I'm just trying to get my head around what the angle, why they're cutting her out, and I don't think that. I just think it's loyalty, and they feel like their friends was like violated because I don't know, but she is not an anus. Yeah,
not that she owes anyone that explanation, but it sure as heck would give some. It would help if she would explain what her friends are saying. Yeah, what are her friends saying to her? What I mean, if they've just shut her out and they're not answering her calls and texts, and that's obviously a little more understandable on her part. But what are they saying? What explanation are they giving? What excuses are they giving?
Or
maybe the boyfriends are forbidding them to have any contact with her. Maybe they were given an incorrect story. Maybe.
So you think the boyfriends are just
upon her?
So you think the boyfriends are telling them, "Hey, she's made this up. This is not true." Are they? Is that what you're saying?
Turned her into the boogeyman. Yes, she's gonna make up stories. She's gonna say that we cheated. Oh, this is false. She's not, and like created a false.
Yeah.
I think that's the best idea. I just really came up with that, and I think that's a pretty darn good explanation.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, it's very simple. I'm sure they're not saying, yes, we did all this, but our reward for us doing this is for you to, have nothing to do with the girl who opened the door on all this. I mean, so certainly they're telling their friends that she's lying. They're trying to make her look like the enemy, but
Right.
you got to wonder. I mean, why are they? One person falling forward, I could see it, but if it's just a group of friends, it just seems strange to me. It seems very unhealthy. You mentioned the word forbidding. I mean, it seems unhealthy. They've become forbidden.
Verboten.
But if they were all busted, they don't have the hand to tell those girls to do anything.
No, no. I mean, it's but the desperation, like you said, the desperation side of that is that they probably are.
Yeah.
And again, we are inferring here. We are taking two pieces of the puzzle. We are taking text evidence and we are combining it with background knowledge, and we are making an educated guess.
Because we said so.
Because we said so. Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I clicked back on her previous post because this was a part 2 post.
Okay.
Part 2.
And just very, very quickly, just skimming through it. Her friends in this group, there are 5 guys and 3 girls. Her friends, quote unquote, in the group are the guys. She doesn't even really hang out with the girls. So they cut her adrift because they really just don't hang out, I guess.
That definitely that makes a little more sense. Doesn't make. I don't think our opinion has changed, Brady, but at least
it does give a little context.
It does give a little context. Yeah.
Not excusing it, but does change the light.
Yeah.
I say my take on this is 2 words: move on. Move on from everybody. The boyfriend, the girlfriends, I guess, even though they didn't really hang out.
The friend boys.
The friend boys. Move on. You will encounter such people in life, so just move on. Some comments from the audience here. Derek said instant yes, and then okay, I changed my opinion as we talked. It's probably what everyone here listening to. I think this. No, now wait a minute. Maybe we can change a few minds. And then the conversation went on to what do you call a group of assholes? Steve says a plethora.
Yeah, it's about time our good friend Steve join us. Yes. 40 episodes in, Steve.
What took us so long?
Marina says, hey, flock of holes.
Flock
of
seagulls.
Is that an 80s cover
band? Jim asked, weren't they all being cheated on? Yeah, essentially they were all being cheated on.
That confused me too, James. This was like a group effort. This was a group. Maybe that's what she was seeing it as. I mean, I don't know. There's not enough context to know if this was a planned. Hey, we are going to go out and, partake in this activity.
Commit skullduggery. and then Jim went to the emojis here, talking about Brady's speaking of STDs and applause and such, with the clapping hands emojis. Miss Wilson says maybe the other girls were the ones who the guys were cheating with. Now, that would be an interesting little angle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it threw me off when you said there were 5 guys and 3 girls. That threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, that's an interesting take.
I think this is a pretty libertine group if you break right down to it. I bet there is some...
Jim says, lie till you believe it. That's right. So Derek gives a little bit of context to his line of thinking. He initially thought the issue was with the guys' night in general, which gave me the yes. And hearing the entire story, I say she isn't. It's a crappy end of a stick for her, but in the end, she should move on and surround herself with better people.
Yeah, well said, Derek. I too had at first was taking it as it was just an issue with the guys' night, which I was going to violently defend and take whoever's side other than hers, but once I got the
with it.
Yeah.
And Jim takes on the Joe Rocky take on our earlier situation. It's been a good one. So yes, very good, audience members. And again, your wisdom shines through.
I was hoping we'd get a Maria comment on this because, like I said,
she
should be an SNL writer. I would really like to know what she was going to say.
Oh, certainly she can do better than SNL. please.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, hasn't been funny in 20 years.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you all. Another good round of AITA, as always. Very popular topic.
Yeah.
With that, once again, we will plug our website, www.playitbyearpodcast.com. You can find our audio feeds there, which the audio feed of this show will be released on Friday morning, as always. You can find the video on there as well. You can find us on Twitch and YouTube, although the YouTube videos are posted there all the time. So if you want to go to the website, you can see all those things. I am going to be posting the isms, and we may have a few more isms to add from our audience members. So,
And usury.
And usury, yes. Multiple cases of analry are anusury. So, yes, very good. All right. With that, gentlemen, anything for the good of the order?
Just to repeat that next week, slight change in the customary Wednesday night 7 p.m. time slot. We're looking at Tuesday night 7 p.m. We wanted to back it up a day to give everyone. We know that 23rd December, 24th, 25th, everybody starts to enjoy their holiday and their families, and we did not want to interrupt that, so we decided to back it up a day to the 22nd, 7 p.m. It will be our Christmas episode, and there'll be lots of Yuletide
merriment.
Help me out here. Yes, I've hit a roadblock. Caroling.
Cracked open a Yule log.
And we throw it out to our audience here. Just post on our Facebook page. What would you like us to talk about in regard to Christmas? We would love to hear from you because, again, your wisdom always shines through. With that, we bid you adieu on episode 40. Brady,
adieu.
I was just going to give a shout out to our earbuds out there that are recovering from the Rona.
Yeah,
A lot more people we know that has it. And, recovering people,
I think
it's closed in a little bit, hadn't it?
Well, I was going to say this is a conversation that I had at work the other day. A couple months back, it was a situation where, and myself, I was just as guilty as other people with this. It was like, do you actually know anyone that's had it? And it was always like, no. And I don't know that. I know the three of us certainly can't say that anymore. And we know we have lots of friends and family out there who are either dealing with it, have dealt with it, and some that have are really dealing with some heaviness. And so our thoughts are with you guys. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. And we know that with not even mentioning names, we know there are some people who are sick right now with it, and people who have gotten over it. So again, everybody be safe and take care.
Yeah. Happy birthday again to Amy. We said that earlier, but happy birthday to you again. Enjoy your jury duty. I saw you put on your Facebook page. You got a jury duty letter, so there's your birthday present.
Here's how you get out of it. Tell them that you'd be great at jury duty because you can spot guilty people just like that.
Just like that.
You would be happy to throw that switch on the chair.
Yes.
The great George Carlin.
Yes. And Todd, you beat me to the punch again earlier when you mentioned it was your anniversary. I was going to say happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
Another Flintstones reference there.
Right.
Thank you, gentlemen. And again, happy anniversary to my wife, C. I know she listens, not always live, but I know she listens. She doesn't miss an episode, and so thank her for 20 years, and looking forward to the next 20 years.
God, that woman is a saint.
And the next easy. And by the way, I'm looking forward to the next 40 episodes, gentlemen.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Also an Axe Murderer reference. Don't forget Axe Murderer. Shut it! All right. With that, we must be off. Thank you, gentlemen, as always, for a good show.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.